Welcome and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I'm your host, Kristen Kaczynski. This show will take you on a journey of expansion, encouraging you to release the limitations of your mind and lean into the wisdom of your soul. Remembering who you are on a soul level will help you release your conditioning, expectations, limiting beliefs, fears, and worries, and evoke a life expanded by your energetic alignment. Whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your income and impact, or someone who knows in your heart of hearts that you're made for more, this podcast will help you awaken the power that's already inside of you, allowing you to attract an easy flow of money, clients, opportunities, and fulfillment. In each episode, you'll learn something new, expand your consciousness, and you'll walk away with a glimpse of what's truly possible for you. If you're ready to follow your soul's calling and live a more expansive life, you're in the right place. Welcome, and let your journey to soul expansion begin. Hello and welcome back to the Soul Expansion Podcast. I'm so happy you're here. I am in the most blissful state of my life right now. I just got married at the time that I'm recording this. We just got back from our honeymoon and we're actually going away for Labor Day weekend to a family lake house, and I am just so excited. But my team told me I had to record these podcasts before I left. So I'm coming at you with all the bubbly newlywed vibes, and I'm excited to share this information with you today. Today, we're talking about energetic skills that make you a better leader. So, we've talked about body, mind, and soul. We've talked about energetics. We've talked about awareness. We've talked about different things on this podcast. And today, I'm going to go a little deeper down the energetic rabbit hole. And this is a rabbit hole that is literally limitless in depth. I am still just scratching the surface, even though I've been working with this stuff for over a year and a half. And even though I'm the type of person where I want to get to mastery. So I've invested heavily in myself and my own education and in mentors because I'm obsessed with the energetics. It's actually something that is one of my gifts. We talked about the personality patterns last week on the episode on the podcast. So check that episode out if you haven't yet. But as part of my makeup, as part of my development, as part of who I am, energetics are one of my gifts. And it's something that I am obsessed with. So even though I've gone very far down the rabbit hole in such a short time, I just want to be super upfront and let you know that there's infinite depths to this. And I do not claim to be the authority or the expert, although I know a lot more than I would say most people in the business coaching industry do, which is why I love to bring this information to you, because you're a business owner most likely if you're listening to this. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about energetic skills. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit so we know where we're going. We have different layers of our being, right? We have our physical form or our body. We have awareness, or I equate that to be like your soul, right? That deep knowing that never changes. And then we have energy or energetics, which is not really your soul, not really your body, but it's something, I don't know if I would say it's in between, but it's something different than those two things that is still very real, right? So almost more like your state of being or the texture of your being, the feminine aspect of your being, right? Because when we think of awareness, when we think of your mind, your brain, when we think of a lot of what we've been conditioned to know as part of society's conditioning, it's all very masculine, right? So awareness is masculine. The structured lives we live are very masculine, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but when we think of energetics, it's a lot more feminine. It's more flowy. There is a flow to it, right? If you think of just the flow of money, that's an energy. If you think of the flow of emotions, the emotional waves that we experience, there's a lot more feminine flow to energetics. So we have these different layers of our being, and today we're going deeper on specifically that feminine, energetic layer of our being. So when we think of energy, we have different levels of sensitivity and different skill sets when it comes to energy. So I just want to kind of like set the stage. If as we're going through some of these skills, you're like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about, that's okay because it's a rabbit hole. And the more you expose yourself to this information, the more things are going to kind of click into place. There are going to be some times where you're going to have like a massive breakthrough and you're going to be like, oh my God, I understand the universe, literally. And then there's going to be other times where you feel like you're kind of hitting the same wall, like the same sticking point. And that's part of the process too. So, be really gentle and kind with yourself if this is new information for you. And on the other hand, if this is information you're really familiar with, great. This may take you deeper on your own journey. So there's always something to learn, and let's dive in. So the first skill that is super important and is one I definitely had to work on a lot in my own personal growth journey is grounding. So, what is grounding? Why is it important? So, grounding, if you are familiar with, yoga practices or meditation, or if you've done any sort of grounding practice before, grounding is simply our energetic connection to the earth. And it's very real, and it's very potent, and it's very helpful. So, in order to get better at grounding, a really easy thing is to just do a grounding meditation. That's one thing. So you can like look on YouTube for a grounding meditation. But also, it's when we think of grounding, it's also like becoming more embodied, right? So, like, ground is really like solid. And we think of the layers of our being, your body is what's solid. So, the deeper we can go on an embodiment journey, naturally, as a result, we're also going to feel more grounded. And why is grounding even important? So, grounding is important because it allows you to make like more clear-headed decisions and feel safe in your body. It allows you to have like an infinite depth of space holding. So if you're a coach or healer, the more grounded you are, the more you can hold space. It allows you to, make calculated risks and feel safe in that. It allows you to have a more stable nervous system and feel safe in your own body, which sounds like everyone should feel safe in their own body, but to be honest, a lot of people don't. And a lot of people are either stuck in your headspace, like stuck up in your mind, or you've left your body if you're more of a leaving pattern, or your body is like so numb and so disconnected from your soul that it's really really hard to feel safe in your body because there's not that connection, right? So when you want to work on grounding so that you can be a better space holder, you can make more clear headed decisions, you can be a stronger CEO and a stronger leader, you really also want to work on embodiment and creating that sense of safety in your body. I will say for me, this one has been probably the most challenging one for me. And that's because one of my survival patterns is the leaving pattern, which means for most of my life, I didn't even live in my own body, which sounds crazy, but it's true. So I've had to do a lot of work on embodiment. A practice I recommend if you are in a similar boat is called 10 points. 10 points is like an energetic practice from like Buddhist traditions that allows you to feel more embodied, feel safer in your body, and develop that deeper sense of grounding and connection to the earth. So 10 points practice is a beautiful practice. You can Google that and, maybe find a YouTube video on that. And maybe I'll create a little meditation for you guys eventually on that. But grounding is so important for that leadership, that space holding, that clear-headed decision making, and that sense of safety in your body. Which again, the sense of safety in your body, that comes like when you have that foundation, then it's like everything that comes next, you're able to operate with more efficiency, with more intuition, with more safety. So like if you think of money for a hot second, If you think of your relationship with money or your situation with money, if you don't have safety in your body, how freaking hard is it to feel the feelings of being a millionaire now if you don't even feel safe in your own body? Right? Like, if we think of manifestation, how hard is it to feel, excited about the clients that are on their way to you now if you don't even feel safe in your own body when you're at home working on your business? So, as you work on embodiment and grounding, you're going to be able to manifest better and more efficiently because you simply have the skills to do so. So, that is the first energetic skill, grounding. The second energetic skill that I wanted to talk about, we actually kind of did a little preview of this one. The second energetic skill that I wanted to teach you was a sense of your own core. So we have this energetic, I don't know what the right word is, structure, pathway, center called our central channel or our core. And this is where like our energy flows through. So you can actually do this. Let's do like a little experiential exercise right now. So if you're driving, obviously don't do this. Make sure you're in a safe space where you can kind of get like meditative with me. Otherwise, just listen along, but don't necessarily do the practice with me actively until you're in a safe space. So your central channel runs from about your tailbone to about the nape of your neck. It can go, I kind of think of it as like the chakra system. So I like to think of it going all the way up to the crown of my head, but a lot of teachers say it just runs in front of your spine. So that would be about the nape of your neck. But you can think about it however resonates for you, just like I do. So, in order to kind of feel this, and again, this may be easy for you to feel, this may be challenging for you to feel. So, be kind with yourself. I want you to first just sit upright with your feet on the floor. So, your feet are touching the ground. And just kind of notice the chair beneath you. And then I want you to like kind of exaggerate and kind of like slump into that chair. Slump into the earth. Get heavier. So that's kind of a preview of what it feels like to ground down in a very exaggerated way. But we learn through exaggeration, right? So this is a good little preview of grounding as an energetic skill. So just really being heavy on the earth, slumping down into the earth, kind of like surrendering to the earth, giving all of your weight to it. And if you need to place me on pause to continue on with that practice until you feel it, feel free to do so. But once you feel like you have that sense of kind of slumping into the earth, giving your weight to the earth, now I want you to imagine from the heavens, from the clouds, from some space above you, that you're being pulled up to the sky by the crown of your head, while maintaining that sense of giving your weight, your energy down to the earth. So you're heavy in your lower body and you're being pulled up to the heavens by the crown of your head. And you'll notice your spine naturally starts to feel really straight when you do that. And then from there, and again, place me on pause if you need to. From there, I want you to tune in to a space that's just in front of your spine. So it might help to think, around like the middle of your body, like your abdomen area. What would it feel like to feel the space just in front of your spine? And you'll notice, if you're feeling it with me, that it feels really sturdy. Or it may not. Let's leave it open for all experiences. But for me, because I have a really strong core, a really strong sense of core, and again, this is energetic core, this is not like the muscles of your core. Because I have a really strong sense of my core, it feels really strong and sturdy in my central channel. Depending on your own developmental trauma, you may have a weaker sense of core, and that's okay. So let's leave it open for that experience as well. You may not be able to feel anything at all. But for me, it just kind of feels like a rod, like a sturdiness from, like my sit bones, or maybe a little in front of my sit bones, all the way up to my heart. My heart's kind of like open, and there's like this, it almost feels like a pole that I'm like, my body revolves around. So that's kind of a silly metaphor or example, but it's pointing you in the direction of what it feels like, right? So if you didn't feel anything at all, that's okay. If you kind of started to see what I was meaning when I started describing it, then that's the sense of your own core. If you are a coach or a healer that is tired of chasing after leads, tired of worrying about where your money's going to come from each month, and tired of using sleazy sales tactics that make you feel icky and make your audience feel icky, I have just the thing for you. So after working with over 100 coaches and healers, and also after observing what happened in my own business scaling journey, I realized that there is a massive upper limit to complicated strategies. And what I found was you don't really need complicated strategies to be able to market and sell your programs. At the end of the day, all you need are basic marketing and sales skills, and then it comes down to your energy and your mindset. And Divine Feminine Sales has you covered on all three. And honestly, the biggest thing I've learned about sales is when you are able to tap into this divine feminine energy that we all have inside of ourselves, regardless of how you identify or what your biological gender is, when we're able to tap into our divine feminine energy, you become a truly magnetic force for your soulmate clients. They can't help but be magnetized to you and to want to be in your energy and to join your programs. It's like being the host of the hottest party of the season that everyone wants an invitation to, except that party is your program, right? And how cool would it be to be in this place where you can just magnetically attract people and have those I want to work with you DMs every single day. All of this is possible for you when you join Divine Feminine Sales, and I have a special offer for you. If you'd like to try Module 1 of Divine Feminine Sales, you can do so for only $55. That's right, you can try Module 1 for only $55 at trydivine.com. And if you decide that you totally love Module 1 and you want to upgrade to the full program where you get live calls with me as well as Facebook group support, you can apply that same $55 to your full enrollment. How cool is that? So give us a try at trydivine.com. You will love Module 1. I take you through my offer creation framework, and you get to keep forever access to that. So that in and of itself is way, way, way worth the $55. Let's be real. Go to trydivine.com and let me know on Instagram if you sign up. I would love to celebrate you. All right, now back to the show. Now, why is this important for your business? Why is this a great skill to have? Well, when you have a sense of your core and a sense of your central channel, you're fully you, right? So what I've noticed, especially as I've become more energetically aware, is if I'm out of my central channel, I'm in a pattern. like a survival pattern, like we talked about last week. So if I notice that I'm feeling tons of sensations in my belly and in my stomach and they're not good sensations, then I know, okay, wow, I'm like reaching for something energetically. What am I reaching for? And so then I can use that energetic awareness to disconnect from anything I'm attached to and come back to my central channel. But if you're in your central channel, then you're just in your alignment, right? Like you're just in you. You are you. You're not reaching for something energetically. You're not hooked into something. You're not, in a different time, space, or dimension energetically. You haven't left your body necessarily. You're just you and in your central channel. And why is that important? Well, again, from a manifestation perspective in your business, if you're you, then you have a lot more clarity in terms of what you want to do, in terms of like inspired action. You have a lot more clarity in terms of what's right for your business. You have all of your energy in your central channel, right? So like if you can start to get more sensitive to your central channel, then you can notice, ooh, I'm like overly attached to that particular client lead. Maybe I need to unhook from that so I can open up space for, unknown things to come into my reality and to, come into my business. So, awareness of your core also allows you to be bolder in your personality, bolder in your actions, show up as a more powerful leader. One of the gifts of the aggressive pattern, which is a pattern that I tend to run or have run in the past, is charisma and big energy and the ability to be a really powerful leader, especially when you're in the gifts, right? When you're in the pattern, it's more like a dictatorship. But when you're in the gifts, you're a really powerful embodied leader. And I personally believe that comes from having a really strong sense of your core, a really strong sense of who you are, you on an energetic level, untouched from attachment, untouched from trauma, untouched from things that don't serve you, right? So as you come back to your central channel and as you develop that deeper awareness and that energetic skill set, you can, become a more powerful leader on an energetic level. So not just on like a level of here's what I have to offer, here's my knowledge, but a felt sense, right? Like people around you will start to have a felt sense of your leadership quality that they won't be able to describe necessarily, but it's energetic, right? And why is that happening? Because they sense how powerful your core is. And assuming you're operating from love, they'll be really attracted to that because you are powerful, right? Like it's not like you're acting powerful. It's not like you're trying to be powerful. You just are powerful because you're so connected to yourself and you're so centered into who you are on an energetic level, which is really magnetic and really attractive. So that is core. And you also kind of learn more about grounding with that exercise. And then the third energetic skill set that I wanted to share with you that makes you a better leader and makes you a more powerful coach and makes you a more powerful human being is boundaries. Or Stephen Kessler calls it edge. So this is like the edge of your energy field. Now, what's important with this one, there's two things kind of going on with this one. So if you have big energy, right, that means that your edge, the energetic edge of your energy field is bigger than someone who has more contracted energy. Big energy tends to be more powerful, tends to be more attractive. Again, this is one of those gifts of the aggressive pattern, but anyone can tap into this with practice. You start to have, again, more of that leadership quality when you have bigger energy, as long as it's embodied and authentic, right? So we're not trying to like be big energy just to be big energy. It's like a natural evolution of your energy growing, of your impact rippling out and touching more energetic people, or more people on an energetic level rather. And so when you have a more expansive energy, you again have more of that leadership quality that becomes like a felt sense for your audience and your clients. So that's the first part of edge. The second part is the strength of your boundaries. And kind of like in tandem with that is understanding what your energy is versus what someone else's energy is. Because believe it or not, right now, you could have someone else's energy literally hooked into your energetic field. I've experienced it. Like it's kind of surreal. But as you develop these energetic skills, you start to notice, oh my God, like one of my former clients who I had a bad experience with is like literally hooked into my body right now. And it can be really draining, right? So having a good edge is not just having the boundary, but then also understanding, okay, what's inside of my edge, what's inside of my energetic field, and what's outside of my energetic field, and is what's inside, does this belong here? Is this me, or is this someone else or something else? And then what's outside, am I actually in my energetic field, or have I like hooked into other people's energetic fields? Have I shattered my energy across the universe? Do I need to call it back? Right? So with edge, a lot of, and kind of like another caveat that I should have mentioned at the beginning, but what are you going to do? So a lot of energetic work is about intention, right? So you don't even need to necessarily know how it works. It's all about your intention because your soul knows how it works. So if you intend, I have strong energetic boundaries, then that'll actually happen, right? And it's about the depth of your intention. So if you're like, I have strong energetic boundaries, but you don't really believe it, that's not going to be as effective as if you say, I have strong energetic boundaries, and you like truly intend it and believe it. So a lot of these energetic skills are intention based, and they get better as your intention gets better, as your belief in your intentions get better as well. So if you want to start to develop a better edge, you can simply intend to have better boundaries. Another thing that's really helpful, this was an exercise I actually did as part of my breathwork training, but claiming space is a really powerful way to see, okay, is this my energy? Is this someone else's energy? Is all of my energy here? Where is my edge? Right? So as you're kind of like figuring out, okay, where is my edge? Where is my energy? Who am I on an energetic level? Simply try for, a couple minutes by yourself, if that makes you more comfortable. Try claiming your space. And it's as simple as saying, this is my space, and intending that, right? So energy follows intention. So if you say, this is my space, and you intend it, you're going to feel the difference versus if you say, this is my space, and you're like, I don't really know about this, right? So be really intentional when you try this practice. This is my space. This is my space. This is my space. This is my space. Right? And I would encourage you to practice this separate from this podcast episode and just notice how it feels different. Do you notice if you feel like a stronger sense of your edge, a stronger sense of your boundary? Do you notice if you start to feel your boundary kind of grow and expand away from your body instead of being like so close to your body where you feel like, oh, everyone's in my space. Oh, everyone's trying to grab at me, right? And as you develop stronger energetic boundaries, you're going to notice you have more energy because people unconsciously, energetically reach for us. They unconsciously hook into us. They unconsciously want to grab onto our energy because it feels so good, or because they get something out of it, or because they're mad at us too, right? So like energy also follows emotions. So if you're really angry at someone, for example, you're giving your energy to that person, literally. So with human dynamics, with our emotions, with our relationships, if we don't have a strong energetic boundary, then we can become exhausted just by like walking through life, right? Even if you do nothing, you can feel exhausted if you have really weak energetic boundaries. So starting to develop that stronger sense of edge is going to give you more energy for your business. Number one, especially if you're a coach or healer, you really need strong energetic boundaries because it can be a really draining profession if you don't have them. Because the very nature of the work we do is supporting people, for me on a mind, body, and energetic level. But even if you're like a strategy coach, there's still an energetic exchange, right? And I don't mean just the money that you exchange. I mean, like, you are holding space for your client's energy, and they are utilizing your energy to get to a breakthrough, right? So there's an energetic exchange that's happening regardless of whatever they're paying you. And so if you don't have good energetic boundaries and you work with clients, ooh, you are going to get so burnt out. Or maybe you already are burnt out, or maybe you're in denial about how burnt out you are. Or maybe you realize, oh, wow, that's why I feel like I can't grow and have a group of 20 people in my coaching program. Like, this could literally be a sales block for you. This could be a sales block. If you're like, oh, I really want 20 people in my program, but I'm already like so drained with 5 people in my program, the universe is not going to give you 20 people until you learn to have a stronger energetic boundary and a better edge, right? Right? Isn't this mind blowing? You're like, I thought I just needed a better sales strategy and some paid ads, but no. You might need some better energetic boundaries. So anyway, obviously I'm obsessed with this stuff, and that was just kind of like an overview. In my programs, we actually go deeper on this, and especially if we work together in like a VIP setting, like in Divine Feminine Sales VIP or in Expansion Mastermind. These are skills I'll actually help you develop in our programs, because they are so impactful, and they're skills that like 99% of business coaches out there don't teach you, but they have a like material impact on your success. If you have no sense of your own core, for example, you can't, make your own decisions with confidence, and you can't project that aura of a powerful leader who can hold space for lots of people. If you don't have a good energetic boundary, you're going to burn yourself out, or you're going to limit your income, because it's hard to receive more if you're already drained by what you have, right? And if you don't have a good sense of groundedness, then your body, your nervous system are going to feel really overwhelmed and really anxious, or really withdrawn, or some sort of like negative feeling in the body, which is going to make it really hard for you to tap into feelings of abundance. So these skills are huge, and I hope you like this episode. Definitely send me a DM on Instagram if you had like a wake-up call, or if you had a breakthrough from this episode. I love hearing from you about the podcast and about what you're learning. And if you guys want me to go even deeper on this, I'd love to know that as well. This was kind of like a good overview of like the what, the why, and the how, but I would be happy to take you through more exercises, more experiential work, and take you more in depth on these energetic skills to help support you and your life and your business. So let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Kristen Kaczynski. Subscribe, rate, and review. Do all the things. And I will be talking to you next week. Next week, we have one of my good friends, Neha, is coming to talk to us about how to use human design to grow your business. So I've actually had people reach out and ask me, what do you think about human design? How do I use human design? I'm not an expert on human design by any means, so I brought in an expert on human design to teach us about how we can use it to grow our businesses. So get excited for next week. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye. Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion Podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart and appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.